episode 340, the pandemic series with professional triathlete Chris Schroeder. Welcome to the pursuit of the perfect race. I'm Coach Terry Wilson, and with each episode, I bring stories of athletes to you that share their experiences at races in order for you to learn how to have your perfect race. We will hear stories from athletes of all ages, abilities, and races of all distances. So regardless of where you fit in, there's something in it for you. Thanks for spending some time with me today. Now let the pursuit begin. Hey everybody, welcome back to the show. This is a really unique situation that we're all in right now with this global health pandemic and COVID-19. And today I'm talking with Chris Schroeder. He's been on the podcast before, and now we're going to talk about, how's he doing with things. Welcome to the show, Chris. I look forward to spending a few minutes with you today.
Yeah, thanks for having me back on. It's been a while.
Yeah, it has. Let's just really dive into it. It's April 5th here in the world. It's not the world that we thought this was going to be last year. I mean, I'm sure you had a race schedule planned and some of your races are being canceled. What's going on with your life right now with being a pro?
It's pretty complicated right now, to be honest. And it's also quite emotional because there's a lot going on and there's a lot of things that are perceived as positive going on for a lot of people that in my world are almost perceived as negative. A good example would be, I'm kind of considered a developing pro. I'm younger. I'm coming up through the ranks. I just really haven't quite broken through yet, to be brutally honest. I haven't had any marquee results that, I haven't had a podium in an Ironman branded race or even a challenge branded race. So I'm really kind of still a division down. And what the problem is with that is that I don't have a ton of, big name security with, especially regarding to financials from other sponsors. So I'm sure a lot of our listeners have heard about the PTO. And the PTO just recently announced that their bonus system that was to be the end of the year bonus, they decided to just give it to all the top ranked pros now. And the word is, we're giving this to help the pros through a hard time. I'm not ranked in the top 100. So it's kind of an emotional thing to go through where you see Jan Frodeno and all these top ranked pros be like, this is such a great thing for our sport. But then you're looking at it like, wait, I'm not getting any help from this. I'm a pro too. So it's kind of emotional, almost made me feel, slightly betrayed by the sport. So I really had to kind of look inside myself to go, you know what? There's the reason I love this sport. I don't love it because all of a sudden I'm getting a paycheck. I love it because I go out and do what I do every day. And that hasn't changed.
Right.
I wake up, the sun is shining. I get on my bike and I love to ride my bike. I go for a run and it's just something I love. And, despite some of the more sad things going on right now with the sport, I still love it. I might not be able to race for a couple months, but I'm still enjoying every day going out and riding and training and doing new things, just making new connections online, trying out new forms of media, really trying to build my YouTube channel. Stuff like that's just been kind of a new adventure for me.
Yeah. So how's your motivation been?
It's gone through some waves. It definitely took a hit. And then I've just kind of found new ways to kind of motivate myself. Especially when all these races started getting canceled and I didn't swim. And I was like, what's the point of even training if I can't train properly? So I said, let's kind of try and change the way I look at training. So I just super impulsively was like, let's go find Egan Bernal's biggest training week. And for the viewers who might not know, Egan Bernal was the 2019 Tour de France winner. So I went on his Strava, saw his biggest training week, and then I just went and did it. And I did a small vlog every day of just the crazy 7-hour days that he was doing. And that actually had an interesting kind of change in my psyche because it changed my point of view of going for a long ride instead of being, this is a long ride to then this is just what I'm doing today. Like, this is my day. And then you kind of get into this mindset of like, you're 5 hours in, you want to stop, but then you're like, why would I stop? I don't have anything better to do. So I might as well finish the ride. So that was I was surprised how fun and how functional that was at kind of getting me motivated and back out enjoying life again. And that's kind of what's kicked me into just going out and enjoying. I'm not going out there to do something. I'm going out there to enjoy life. I'm going out there to just enjoy being on my bike.
Right. So let's totally random question. I mean, to be honest, I have like no script over here to do anything. So this is like literally just my thought process here. What was your initial impression whenever the news started breaking of COVID-19? Did you think it was going to be a pandemic like it is now, where it would be canceling pretty much the 2020 season? And how has that thought process changed, and how has your thought process of this COVID-19 changed through the last 2 or 3 months?
So I kind of had an interesting perspective because I went and did Ironman New Zealand. So I was, in New Zealand at the race, and a lot of this was kind of developing around the race with a lot of the big cycling races in Italy getting canceled at the time, Italy going into lockdown while I was there. So even the week building into the race, there was a lot of uncertainty of, is this race even going to happen? New Zealand's a very functional, very smart government that, understands what's going on. So there was a lot of like, are they going to just cancel this race to stop all these international travelers from coming here, from coming to an isolated town? And then that race ended up happening. But then I got the even more interesting experience of traveling home on an international flight back to the United States. At the time, the United States hadn't really
had any real cases.
Yeah, no, I think we had maybe 100 cases. I mean,
it was low.
I think
it was very low.
It went from like 15 cases to like 100 cases, I think, in kind of the time span that I was functioning in. But coming to the U.S., there was no extra security or anything like that or screening. There was definitely a different little vibe on the plane. There was a lot more people with masks on at the time. But I didn't really think anything of that. It's actually fairly common on international flights to see a lot of people wearing masks.
Yep.
So there wasn't too big of an impact. But then as soon as I got here, that's when all of a sudden, oh, this race is canceled. This race is postponed. And it just kind of on and on and on.
What was the next race for you that you had lined up that was canceled?
So I actually had a gravel event that it was in Dallas. I think there was one. It was March 20th. That one got canceled. Maybe Thursday. I was going to fly out like Thursday night to go do it. And then just recently, kind of as they go, Challenge Cancun got canceled. Was at the end of April. Then Monterey. I'm kind of an optimist, so like I just try and move on to the next thing with it. I don't really want to sit and dwell. So as naive as it might be, like Dirty Kansas, May 31st, it's not canceled. I have a registration spot for that one. So I'm just kind of going about life as if that's going to happen. And if it gets canceled, then I'm going to adjust and move on to something else. I'm not going to anticipate something being canceled and stuff like that. I just kind of go with it, and whatever happens, happens.
Yeah. So, I mean, kind of looking forward to this, when do you actually see the next Ironman 70.3 in North America happening? Or even Ironman or Ironman 70.3 happening in North America?
So, I think I don't see why October and September wouldn't be plausible, just with, you can almost say every day that we're getting a little bit smarter. We're getting a little bit smarter. We're getting a little bit more prepared every day. Our understanding of everything that's going on gets better every day. So just kind of with the positive trajectory we're on of people getting smart, people getting knowledgeable, understanding protection, and understanding social distancing, I could see, September, October races happening, which will be kind of crazy because I think every race is rescheduled for October. So maybe we'll just race every day. I'm down. It'll be interesting.
Right. I mean, all the world major marathons have been racing, or they've been rescheduled for like a 6-week window. Like, yeah, that's going to be crazy. I mean, me personally, I don't feel like this year is going to really happen at all, to be honest. And I say that because, I got my degree in sport management, and there's a risk assessment for everything. And how can you mitigate a risk for this down to even less than 5%? And you have to think, okay, how can you mitigate a risk that's unknown like this, where if because of your event someone does die because of something that you couldn't control, okay, should you have postponed the event to save that life? Yes, you should have. So, I mean, it's, okay, how are you going to get that risk down to less than 2-3%, and it has to be a vaccine. It has to be accessible to so many people for so long then you have to have governing bodies saying this is okay now, and you have to have the top-down approach from, hey, these are the governing bodies that said this was okay. We were doing everything that we could that was right, and I don't know how far we are away from that.
Yeah, you're absolutely right, and it's just so hard to predict, and that's why I'm kind of the opinion of just keep moving forward as if normal. Like, I'm gonna just keep acting every day as if Dirty Kansas is gonna happen, and then the moment they say it's not, I'm just gonna find something else. So I'm gonna keep rolling. I'm not about to sit here in my Snuggie and cry. Just gonna keep moving forward.
I mean, that's almost like my training. I'm doing the Comrades Marathon. We have a pretty penny dished out already for the airfare to get down there, our lodging to go down to South Africa, and as of right now, Comrades Marathon is still on for June 14, and I can't help but to think, that's probably going to be postponed. But I'm doing the training just like I am every week. I'm doing all my runs. Like, if it's canceled, it's canceled, or if it's postponed, it's postponed. I'll roll with that and deal with it then. But right now, I'm just going to act as if it is June 14th, because if it is June 14th, I want to be ready.
Exactly. And I really think that's the best mindset. I think it's a positive mindset. I think it's an optimistic mindset. And I think that's the healthy way to kind of approach this for a lot of people. You don't want to be in a negative mindset. You don't want to be in you just don't want to be glum. You just want to be happy with what you have. And that's the mindset to do it. You don't want to have this just into the world mindset. It's just not healthy.
Right.
You got to be.
So from your perspective, how can other people take some notes, or what advice would you give to other people that are also going through this shelter in place, and you can't really be yourself and be around the people and socialize like you want to?
That has been hard. I am a social person and I enjoy it. Fortunately, I have 2 roommates and live with my girlfriend, so I do get quite a bit of social interaction. It's kind of funny play, though. I do play a lot of video games, get to chat with friends. I've been starting to stream a little bit more. It's not the same as an in-person social interaction, but it's something kind of a best case scenario. Like, it's the best I can do right now as far as social interaction goes. Workout-wise, swimming has been the biggest hit. That was kind of the 3 sports that I do, that was the most social of them, because a lot of people would show up to the swim workouts. We'd all chat in the hot tub before. We'd do the workout, chat in the hot tub after. That's kind of where all the gossiping going on. You get to know the ins and outs of the drama, who's dating who's cheated on who, all that good stuff. So kind of missed that. Don't really miss it. It's just kind of is what it is.
Yeah. So have you watched Tiger King yet?
I have not. I have heard a lot about it. It's actually, I just finished watching, not to over trump that one, but so on Netflix, people listening, Movistar, the professional cycling team, did a documentary series. That's phenomenal.
What's the name of it?
It really shows a great inside look as to the pro athlete mindset of the uncertainty of being able to race, the uncertainty of a contract, the pressure that someone will put on you to perform, and just showing what happens when you fail at that pressure. What's
the name of it?
If you just type in Movistar into Netflix, you'll find it. Okay. Even if you just type cycling into Netflix, you're going to find it. Okay. I want to say it's probably a 5-episode series.
Okay.
Highly recommend. It will, especially if you're having trouble finding the motivation to train, watch this series. You'll find it really enjoyable, and it's going to give you a great kind of insight into some professional sport that are pretty close tight. You don't get it too good. It's not too often you get to see this kind of in look. So I highly recommend that one to people after you watch Tiger King, of course.
Yeah, well, you got to watch Tiger King. There's so many memes out there. That Carol Baskin, I'm telling you, there's so many memes. It's craziness. And apparently all straight men are just one bag of meth away from being gay. Apparently that's a real thing.
That's too much.
It is. So, to kind of wrap everything up here, do you have any personal goals for yourself that you've been trying to work towards? Are you trying to read books? Or are you trying to I know you're streaming more. Are you trying to learn more? What are you trying to do on your own?
So I was actually just talking to someone else about this fairly recently. One thing I really do enjoy about the professional side of the sport is kind of more of the business side. And I can't go into too much detail, but I really enjoy that as its own animal, its own beast of just learning the sponsorship and the marketing and the management side of the sport. So I'm really, I would say I'm trying to expand my ability to be good at that side. So I'm trying to not only go about live strategies of how I can make proposals better, how I can contact people, how I can be more presentable, finding unique, interesting ways that I can show my value as an athlete through marketing, which can be through, events or not events, through just self, media. YouTube is a big part of me right now. That's something, and that was probably my biggest goal outside of racing this year, was creating an asset, which would be YouTube for myself. Having a YouTube channel that is, a growth and is a business in its own. So that's kind of a big focus of mine this year. And just there's so much learning that I'm trying to do right now of how to grow that, how to, define that to sponsors and show it to them. And then just learning, because I don't have my degree is in sociology, which is complicated for people who don't know what that is. Just Google it. So I like to think that, right now I'm going through an education in, real sports marketing, which has been fun. It's really enjoyable for me. It really I'm happy and I'm excited while I'm learning it.
All right. Well, man, I wish you the best. And for people that don't follow you already on Instagram or YouTube, how can they find you?
So my Instagram handle is Schroeder1994. I know it's not super original. If you go on YouTube and you type in, I'm assuming if you type in probably Christopher Schroeder triathlete, one of my videos will pop up. Please like and subscribe. It really helps the channel. It boosts the YouTube algorithm. It's a massive help. Also, if you're a gamer, I want to play Fortnite with you. Go on Twitch, The Gaming Triathlete. That's an easy one to remember. Follow me on there too.
The Gaming Triathlete on Twitch.
Yeah.
Awesome. Well, man, I'm going to try to hop off here and get this episode out pretty quickly. And it was good catching up with you. And if you need anything that I can help you out with, please don't hesitate to ask. I'm here to help you as well.
You're an awesome dude, man. It's been a pleasure.
You have a great day, okay?
All right.
Bye. Thanks for tuning in today. I hope you were able to learn something from today's episode. If you enjoyed the show, please take a minute to leave a review on iTunes or share it with a friend. Be sure to subscribe so you never miss an episode. If you'd like to see pictures from this athlete's race, learn more about who I am, what I'm doing, or be on the show yourself to share your story, check out my website at CoachTerryWilson.com. Until next time, continue the pursuit.